Look at any mirror around you. A simple object, glass, with a reflective surface. We use it every day to check our appearance, to fix our hair, to prepare ourselves before stepping out into the world. But in yogic traditions, mirrors are sometimes treated with surprising caution. Certain practices suggest not placing mirrors in specific directions. Some traditions even avoid mirrors in meditation spaces. Why? Because yogis have long said something unusual. They say mirrors don't just reflect light, they can also hold or trap subtle energy impressions. But is there any truth behind this idea? Or is it simply an old superstition carried forward through generations? Stay with me till the end because the deeper explanation reveals something fascinating about how environments influence the human mind and energy. In yogic understanding, every space carries a certain quality of energy. Think about how different places make you feel. A peaceful temple feels different from a crowded market. A quiet forest feels different from a noisy city street. The physical structures may be simple, but the energetic atmosphere of a place can feel completely different. Yogic tradition explains this by saying that human thoughts, emotions, and actions leave subtle impressions in the environment. These impressions are not visible, but sensitive individuals can sometimes feel them. Just as a room filled with laughter feels different from a room where people were arguing. A mirror works by reflecting light almost perfectly. When light hits the reflective surface, it bounces back with minimal distortion. But yogic thinkers often extended this idea metaphorically. If a mirror reflects light so clearly, could it also reflect or interact with subtle energetic fields? While this idea is difficult to measure scientifically, it became part of certain traditional beliefs. Some yogic practices suggest that mirrors can amplify or redirect subtle energies in a space, not in a mystical sense of trapping spirits, but in the sense that they can influence how energy flows within an environment. Meditation is about turning awareness inward, but mirrors constantly pull attention outward. The moment you see your reflection, the mind becomes engaged with appearance, posture, expression, identity. This subtle shift can interrupt the inward journey meditation requires. Because of this, many yogic meditation halls traditionally avoid mirrors entirely. Not because mirrors are dangerous, but because they encourage self consciousness, which pulls awareness away from inner stillness. In mystic musings, Sadhguru often speaks about how the human system constantly interacts with its surroundings. He explains that the spaces we live in influence how our body and mind function. Certain environments support clarity and calmness, others create restlessness. This is why yogic culture placed enormous importance on how spaces are arranged, where objects are placed, how light enters a room, what materials surround the body. A mirror may seem like a simple object, but anything that repeatedly captures attention can subtly shape the mental atmosphere of a space. Sometimes, when yogic teachings mention energy, they are not referring to something supernatural. Often, they are pointing toward psychological and emotional influence. For example, mirrors can affect how people feel about themselves. Seeing your reflection repeatedly can increase self awareness, sometimes even self criticism. This is why many studies show that mirrors can influence mood, confidence, and behavior. So, when yogic tradition speaks about mirrors affecting energy, It may also refer to how they subtly shape mental and emotional states. Another reason mirrors appear in spiritual discussions is related to the concept of impressions. In yogic thought, everything in existence holds memory. Your body holds memory. Your mind holds memory. Even spaces can hold memory through repeated experiences. If a room constantly witnesses certain emotions, anger, joy, fear, it begins carrying a psychological atmosphere shaped by those experiences. Mirrors constantly reflecting human faces and emotions became symbolic objects associated with these energetic impressions, not literally trapping energy, but repeatedly reflecting human states of mind. In mystic musings, Sadhguru often reminds seekers that spirituality is not about believing strange things. It is about becoming more conscious of how life functions. When awareness deepens, you begin noticing how your surroundings influence your thoughts, how certain spaces calm you, how others disturb your mind. This awareness naturally leads to arranging your environment more consciously, not out of fear, but out of understanding. So, when yogic tradition advises caution with mirrors, the deeper reason may not be mystical energy traps. It may simply be attention. Anything that repeatedly pulls the mind outward can weaken inner stillness, and mirrors are powerful attention magnets. They constantly invite you to look at yourself, your appearance, your identity, your story. But meditation invites the opposite movement, looking beyond the surface into the deeper nature of awareness itself. So, do mirrors really trap energy? Probably not in the supernatural way many people imagine, but they do influence how attention flows in a space. And in yogic tradition, attention is the most powerful form of energy we possess. Where attention goes, experience follows. So the next time you look into a mirror, remember something simple. The reflection you see is only the surface. The real exploration begins when awareness turns inward. If this perspective on yogic traditions made you think differently, share this video with someone curious about spiritual wisdom. And for more explorations consciousness, like this video and subscribe.